Welcome. So if you're thinking about using AI to write your prenuptial agreement in Illinois, this video is for you, and I encourage you to watch this video before making that decision. So, you typed prenup template into Google. ChatGPT gave you something that looked professional. It had all the right legal words, it felt complete, and you thought, this is good enough. I don't need to pay an attorney for this. Well, I'm here to tell you that's one of the most expensive mistakes that you'll make before your wedding. And I'm going to show you exactly why in this video. My name is Joerika Stitt. I'm a licensed Illinois attorney, certified mediator, collaborative law attorney, and owner of Joerika Stitt, Esquire, LLC. And I'm also the creator of My Illinois Court Navigator, a statewide legal resource hub empowering pro se litigants and small business owners across the state of Illinois. And today we have 3 live navigators I'm very proud of. My Family Court Navigator for uncontested divorce, my Prenuptial Agreement Navigator, and my Small Business Navigator. And so today I'm giving you the honest truth about AI-generated prenups in Illinois, what the law actually requires, where AI gets it wrong, and what your real options are. No confusion, no mystery, just a clear look at your path forward. And so this is our website. Again, this is my law office, but My Illinois Court Navigator, right? You just hover here and you see the My Family Court Navigator for uncontested divorce, my Prenuptial Agreement Navigator, and my Small Business Navigator. Today we're focused on my Prenuptial Agreement Navigator. We already did a video where we walked through this page, but today's focus is using AI and other DIY tools such as AI to create prenuptial agreements in Illinois. And so I want to share with you a story. A client came to me after she had already used an AI tool to draft her prenuptial agreement. She and her fiance had signed it. The wedding was weeks away. She found me because something felt off. She just wanted to make sure that she had all her ducks in a row before the wedding day. And excuse me, and she wanted a second set of eyes before she and her fiance walked down the aisle. And so when I reviewed the prenuptial agreement that she gave me, the problems were immediate. First of all, the financial disclosure was incomplete. Entire asset categories were missing. The waiver of rights language did not meet Illinois statutory requirements, and the agreement itself had no evidence that either party had consulted with independent legal counsel. This is what would have been used against her in court if she ever had to go into court and try to enforce this prenuptial agreement. But she had done everything she thought was right. She used a tool that looked professional and produced something that looked like a legal document, but looking like a prenuptial agreement and being an enforceable prenuptial agreement in Illinois are two completely different things. And so we had to start over weeks before her wedding. Don't let this be your story. In Illinois, prenuptial agreements are governed by the Illinois Uniform Premarital Act. And so for a prenup to be enforceable in Illinois, several things must be true. It must be in writing. It must be signed by both parties. Both parties must fully disclose their assets and debts, and I mean fully. And so before we go any further with the video, I actually want to take you to the statute, right? So as an attorney, I'm familiar with this statute. I know what's required. If you're ready, for some reading, you can check it out yourself. But this is the Illinois Uniform Premarital Agreement Act. Any prenuptial agreement that you have, most likely a enforceable prenuptial agreement. And so back to the story. So incomplete financial disclosure is one of the most common reasons prenups get thrown out as unenforceable. Neither party can be under duress or undue influence when signing a prenuptial agreement, and both parties should have had the opportunity to consult with independent legal counsel before signing. So although the statute doesn't technically require independent legal counsel, judges look at this very closely when one party later claims they didn't understand what they were signing. And I want you to think of it like this, because I know a lot of people, when they come to me, they'll say something like, we're paying $18,000 for the wedding, and we have to do this, and after we get married, we're going on our honeymoon. And I understand getting married can be expensive, right, for some. But the thing is, this protection right here is not something that you want to skimp on. Because if you say we're going to just pay, we're going to use the My Prenuptial Agreement Navigator to draft it, and everything looks okay, you don't have to get your own attorney. None of that matters. Let's save $18,500 or whatever tier you end up landing in. The thing is, if you need to one day enforce your prenuptial agreement in court, courts look at one party had the advice of an attorney. Even though My Prenuptial Agreement Navigator is a tool that you use without ever having to talk to me, it's still drafted and prepared by me, a licensed attorney, writing something based on information that you share with me confidentially, information protected by the attorney-client privilege, right? You had the benefit of an attorney to put together an agreement based on information that you share. Your spouse, your future spouse, fiance needs the same thing, or you run the risk of having this completely thrown out of court. We want to avoid that. And so AI constantly gets it wrong. I understand wanting to save. That's one of the reasons I created My Prenuptial Agreement Navigator, because I have so many people coming to me with my fixed fee pricing. My firm does fixed fee pricing for prenups, and I have consultations and different things built in. And a lot of people were just like, this is too much back and forth. There has to be a more streamlined way, and the price is too high. And they're going with, I see this a lot. They'll use AI to draft it and come and pay a lower fee for me to review it. But they end up paying more because I'm finding all of this stuff that AI got wrong. And they're like, oh, well, maybe I should have started with you. That's why I created My Prenuptial Agreement Navigator, and that's why I'm making this video. And so why AI gets prenups wrong? There are 3 specific reasons. Number 1, AI doesn't know your financial situation. It generates generic language based on a prompt. So you enter in a prompt and it's going to generate generic templates. AI has no idea what assets you have, and I really wouldn't be putting my personal assets and information into ChatGPT and Gemini and different things that use your information to train, and it's not private. Like my firm uses highly encrypted software and tools that keep your information confidential. You don't get that with ChatGPT, Gemini, and all of those things. And so, not only does the AI not have no idea what assets you have, what debts you carry, or what your specific financial disclosure needs to include, such as a Schedule A, but the information it's going to give you is going to be incomplete or missing what is needed to make your agreement enforceable. Should you ever need, God forbid, but should you ever need to have it enforced in a divorce case. Number 2, AI doesn't know current Illinois law. AI tools are trained on data with a cutoff date. Illinois case law evolves. Statutory interpretations change. An AI tool cannot guarantee that the waiver language it generates meets current Illinois court standards, which are here. But it's not just this statute. There's something called case law. I don't want to get too deep into this, but, as lawyers, we understand that the law is more than a statute. We have case law. Case law is how the courts interpret statutes and different things, and we have to go by holdings. And case law, all of those things. And a licensed Illinois attorney knows this. AI does not. Number 3, AI cannot provide independent legal review. And so the enforceability of a prenup is strengthened significantly when both parties have had the opportunity to consult with their own attorney before signing. An AI tool cannot provide that. It cannot advise either party on what they're agreeing to or flag provisions that may not be in their best interest. And so I want you to follow with me with This website we have, Start My Prenup. If you click on this because you're ready to get started, it's going to take you to an intake form. Like I said before, the tools that I use, my firm has invested significantly in accessing tools that are highly encrypted. I'm talking about government grade encryption to make sure that what you share with me, which is also protected by the attorney-client privilege, stays confidential. You're not going to get that with AI. And so you complete this intake form and submit it. And this is what I use to draft your prenuptial agreement that your future spouse is then going to have their attorney to review. If you look through this website and you're like, I don't know if I'm ready, I don't know, not sure yet, that's okay. Download this free guide. You don't have to put in an email address or any other information. Just download it, read it. Once you read this PDF, you are going to walk away with all that you need to understand how the My Prenuptial Agreement Navigator works, the value that it will bring to you and your spouse during a time where value matters because your money is flowing like water regarding the marriage, regarding the honeymoon, regarding life after the marriage. I get it. That's why I created the Navigator. And you just scroll down. Basically, you could submit your intake. You get back within 24 to 48 business hours a prenuptial agreement drafted and reviewed by me, a licensed Illinois attorney. And so these are the tiers. You get tier 1, 18.5, tier 2, 25, tier 38.5. Visit the website. Just read the website to learn more because we already covered this in another video, or that handy dandy guide above that we downloaded. You just click here, get the guide. That's the intake form. Get the guide right here. This will give you everything that you need. And so I want to wrap up this video. Traditional prenuptial agreement drafted by an Illinois attorney is typically going to cost you between $1,500 to $5,000 or more, depending on complexity. My Prenuptial Agreement Navigator starts at $18,500, fully attorney drafted, personally reviewed, and delivered within 48 hours. The AI tool you were considering costs nothing. But as the couple I mentioned at the start of this video discovered, nothing can cost you everything, right? You want to avoid that type of stuff where you end up having to pay an attorney to get it right, or God forbid you have to enforce your prenup down the line and the judge is like, okay, I don't know who wrote this, but this is not enforceable. We don't want that. And so even when you use my Prenuptial Agreement Navigator, I strongly recommend that your future spouse have their own independent attorney review the agreement before signing. So this is not required by Illinois law, but it significantly strengthens the enforceability of the agreement and protects both you and your future spouse. And if needed, I can recommend resources for that review because I have a lot of attorney friends that I constantly refer out. Hey, I wrote this prenup. The client's spouse needs an independent attorney to review it. I got you with referrals if needed. And so don't let an AI tool make one of the most important legal decisions of your financial life, literally. Attorney drafted prenuptial agreement protection is more accessible and more affordable than you think through the My Prenuptial Agreement Navigator. And so click the link right here to get started. Subscribe for more episodes and know that you don't have to navigate your prenuptial agreement alone. Wishing you and your partner the absolute best moving forward. Good luck.